Hey coin lovers and history buffs, welcome back to the channel, Top Coin, where money really talks. Have you ever looked at that simple quarter in your pocket and wondered if it could be worth more than just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that a 1967 quarter, yes, a plain old United States quarter from over 5 decades ago, could actually be worth thousands of dollars today? That's right. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1967 quarter-dollar coin. From its rich American heritage to the jaw-dropping prices collectors are paying for rare versions today, this video is going to uncover everything you need to know about one of the most interesting coins in your change jar. Grab your magnifying glasses, because by the end of this video, you might just be digging through your coin collection with a whole new perspective. Let's start with the history. The 1967 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, a coin that has been a staple of American currency since 1932. It was originally designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The obverse side features a proud portrait of Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a well-known sculptor at the time. But what makes the 1967 quarter stand out from other years? Here's where things get interesting. The year 1967 falls into what collectors call the no mint mark era. You see, during the mid-1960s, there was a serious coin shortage in the United States. People were hoarding silver coins, which caused a crisis at the U.S. Mint. To combat this, the Mint removed mint marks from all coins from 1965 through 1967. That means that every quarter from 1967, whether it was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, carries no mint mark at all. This makes it a little harder to trace its origin, and in a way, adds to its mystique. Let's talk about what this coin is actually made of. Before 1965, quarters were composed of 90% silver. That's why pre-1965 quarters are generally more valuable. They contain actual silver. But in 1965, the U.S. Mint switched to a clad composition due to rising silver prices. The 1967 quarter, like others from 1965 onward, is made of a copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper and an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs about 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. So if it doesn't have silver, why is it worth so much? That's where rarity, condition, and errors come into play, and this is where collectors start getting excited. Now, let's explore the treasure hunt aspect of this coin. The rare varieties and errors that can turn an ordinary 1967 quarter into a jackpot find. Number 1 on our list, striking errors. These can include double die obverse or reverses, off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. Imagine a coin where Washington's face looks doubled or shifted. These errors are often considered minting accidents, but to collectors, they're golden opportunities. There are also coins that were struck on the wrong planchets. For example, some 1967 quarters were accidentally struck on dime planchets, making them smaller and lighter than usual. These mistakes are extremely rare and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the condition. In 2016, a collector paid over $8,000 for a 1967 quarter in pristine condition with a high grade from a professional coin grading service. That's no small change. High-grade examples, especially those rated MS67 or higher, are particularly desirable. And if there's an error on top of that, the value can skyrocket. So, how can you tell if your 1967 quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. Coins that have never been circulated and show no signs of wear, called mint state coins, are worth far more than those that have been used in everyday transactions. Next, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubled lettering, unusual lines, or imperfections in the image. If something looks off, it might just be a rare error coin. Third, weigh your coin. A standard 1967 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's significantly lighter or heavier, it could be a rare planchet error. Finally, consider having your coin graded. Professional grading by companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate the value and dramatically increase what someone's willing to pay for it. Now let's talk real numbers. What is a 1967 quarter worth in today's market? A typical 1967 quarter in circulated condition is still only worth face value, just 25 cents. But a coin in mint state condition can sell for anywhere from $20 to over $150, depending on the grade. Coins with rare errors can fetch even more. A superb gem quality coin, graded MS68 or higher, especially with a unique error, has been known to sell for several $1,000s at auction. Online marketplaces like eBay show listings of 1967 quarters going for hundreds of dollars when they're in high condition or contain errors. And coin shows, auctions, and collector forums are hot spots where these coins are traded like pieces of fine art. If you're getting into coin collecting or hoping to cash in on a rare find, here are some golden tips. Always handle coins carefully. Use gloves and store them in protective holders. Never clean your coins. It might seem like a good idea, but it actually lowers their value. Educate yourself. Books, forums, and videos like this one are great resources. Get your coins graded, it's the best way to prove their value to a buyer. Be patient. Treasure hunting takes time, but the payoff can be big. So, is the 1967 quarter worth a lot of money? The answer is, it can be. While most are worth only their face value, rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples can command significant premiums in the collector's market. This humble little coin, often overlooked and tossed in vending machines or change jars, holds within it a rich story of American history, economics, and the never-ending quest for hidden treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the 1967 quarter is a perfect example of how even the most ordinary coin can carry extraordinary value. So next time you get change back at the store, don't be too quick to spend that quarter. You just might be holding a small fortune in your hand. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to support the channel. Subscribe for more deep dives into coin history and hidden treasures, and comment below if you've ever come across a rare 1967 quarter, or if you're going to check your stash right now. Today, we're talking about one of the most overlooked coins in modern American history, the 1977 quarter dollar. You may think it's just another old quarter, but what if I told you that this little piece of metal could be worth way more than just 25 cents? What if I told you that some rare versions of this coin are being sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars today? Stick around, because we're going to uncover the hidden secrets of the 1977 Washington quarter, learn how to spot the rare ones, and find out exactly how much yours might be worth in today's booming coin market. The story of the 1977 quarter begins with a coin that most of us know very well, the Washington quarter. First minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design features the founding father in profile, a patriotic eagle on the reverse, and the iconic phrase "In God We Trust." But by 1977, the coin had been circulating for 45 years, and changes in minting technology, metal composition, and economic inflation all left their mark. In 1977, these quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Denver coins are marked with a D, and the San Francisco coins, now these are special, they're proof coins, carefully struck for collectors, and they carry an S mint mark. The 1977 quarter is made of a copper nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper. It weighs 5.67 grams and has a reeded edge. The obverse features the iconic profile of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse showcases a powerful eagle, wings spread wide, a symbol of American strength and freedom. But here's where things get interesting. Even though millions of these coins were minted, over 256 million in Philadelphia and 191 million in Denver, some of them are incredibly valuable today. Why? Because of errors, rarity, condition, and collector demand. Let's talk about the jackpot, the errors. These are the coins collectors dream about. Minting mistakes that turn an ordinary quarter into a numismatic superstar. One of the most desirable errors in the 1977 series is the off-center strike. These occur when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting. A 10% or more off-center error can boost the coin's value dramatically. Then there's the double die obverse. This is where you see doubling in the lettering. Look at Liberty, and In God We Trust very closely. If you see shadowing or double lines, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds. Some 1977 quarters were struck on the wrong planchet, like dimes or foreign coins, making them incredibly rare. Others may feature clipped planchets, die cracks, or missing layers. And let's not forget the high-grade mint state coins, those that have never circulated, with their full luster intact. A 1977 quarter graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for several $100s, and in some rare auction cases, over $1,000. Now, how do you know what your 1977 quarter is worth? It all starts with grading. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A coin that's heavily worn might be in good, G4, condition and worth face value. But a coin that's in mint state, say MS-65 or better, especially with no scratches or blemishes, can command serious money from collectors. As of now, a standard 1977 quarter in circulated condition is generally worth around 25 to 50 cents. But in uncirculated condition, especially MS-66 or MS-67, it could fetch anywhere from $10 to $250 or more. Proof coins from San Francisco, those shiny, mirror-like beauties, are usually worth around $3 to $7 if still in their original case, but even more if graded PR69 or PR70. Let's not forget, error coins can skyrocket in price depending on rarity. One rare off-metal error 1977 quarter sold for over $1,500 at auction. Another double die variety brought in over $800. Here's how to check your 1977 quarter at home. First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Examine the lettering on the obverse. Look for doubling. Check the edge for any strange clipping. Look at the color. Is it unusual? Hold it under bright light to inspect the luster. And don't forget to weigh it. A normal 1977 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's way off, you might have a planchet error. Now that you know what to look for, where can you sell or buy one of these? Online auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions are hot spots. But beware, condition and authenticity are everything. Get your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC before listing it for sale if you believe it's worth more than a few bucks. The current coin market is booming, with more collectors entering the hobby every day. Rare and high-grade coins are in demand. Dealers at coin shows are actively searching for specific 1977 errors. And online marketplaces show a steady rise in prices, especially for the best examples. So, what's the takeaway here? That simple 1977 quarter in your pocket change could be worth more than lunch. It could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Whether it's an error coin, a mint state gem, or just a beautifully preserved piece of American history, it deserves a closer look. Check your change. Search your piggy banks. Dig through those old jars of coins. You never know. You might be holding a small fortune right in the palm of your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1977 Washington quarter, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more rare coin videos, and comment below, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasure. In today's exciting and eye-opening episode, we are diving deep into the pockets of American history, flipping through time with one of the most common-looking coins that might just be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. Today, we're exploring the legendary 1979 quarter-dollar coin from the United States of America. That's right, that regular old coin you might have received as change at the grocery store, or maybe it's been sitting in a jar on your dresser for decades, or perhaps you just spotted it in your grandparents' coin collection. What if I told you, some of these 1979 quarters are now worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the hidden secrets of the 1979 quarter dollar that could make you a fortune. Let's start with a little background, shall we? The 1979 Washington quarter, part of the long-standing Washington quarter series, was minted during a time of economic transition in America. This coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, the same design we've seen since 1932, sculpted by the brilliant John Flanagan. But the 1979 edition has a few features that make it stand out from the crowd, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting to collectors, investors, and history buffs alike. Now, let's rewind the clock to the late 1970s. The United States was undergoing some pretty significant changes. Inflation was high, the economy was uncertain, and the U.S. Mint was experimenting with coin designs and materials. 1979 was also the first year the U.S. Mint introduced the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which ironically led to a little confusion, because both the new dollar and the quarter were quite similar in size and color. It was in this era that the 1979 Washington quarter was minted. The quarter that year was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. And here's where the treasure hunt begins. You'll notice a small letter on the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That's the mint mark. A P means it was minted in Philadelphia, a D means Denver, and an S means San Francisco. Each mint produced different quantities, and each has its own rarity, especially when it comes to collector-grade specimens. Philadelphia struck over 515 million quarters in 1979. Denver produced around 489 million. And San Francisco, which typically handles proof coins for collectors, struck about 3.7 million proofs, and some of those are where the real value lies. Now, most of these coins are worth face value. But, and here's the million-dollar question, what makes some of them worth far more? Let's talk about value. What makes a 1979 quarter coin worth more than 25 cents? It's all about condition, rarity, and certain mistakes made during the minting process, also known as mint errors or varieties. Here are the top things to look for: full strike with high-grade coins that were perfectly struck, with no wear, scratches, or fading, especially those graded MS65 or higher by a grading company like PCGS or NGC. Can sell for anywhere from $50 to $250. An MS67 specimen from Philadelphia or Denver can even bring in over $1,000 in auctions. Proof coins from San Francisco. The 1979 S-proof quarters are stunning. But here's the kicker: there are 2 different types of mint marks. One is called the Type 1, with a blob-like S mint mark. The other, rarer one, is the Type 2, with a clear and well-defined S. That Type 2 variety is far more desirable, and in pristine proof condition, it can fetch upwards of $200 to $400, sometimes more depending on demand. Off-center strikes and other errors. Some 1979 quarters were struck off-center, missing letters, or showing doubling in certain areas of the text. A double die error, for example, where the lettering appears slightly doubled, can dramatically increase the coin's value. These error coins are extremely popular among collectors, and prices can range from $50 to several $100 depending on how dramatic the error is. Transitional errors or clad layer missing. Although rare, some 1979 quarters have appeared with missing clad layers, showing the copper core. These are rare minting mistakes and can easily bring in $500 or more at auctions. So what is the 1979 quarter really worth today in 2025? Let's break it down by type and condition. 1979 P, Philadelphia, quarter, in circulated condition, still worth about 25 cents. In MS65 or higher, around $15 to $50. In MS67 plus, possibly $600 or more. 1979D, Denver, quarter, similar to the Philly coin. Circulated equals face value. MS65 equals $10 to $40. MS67 plus equals $800 plus. 1979 S-proof Type 1, around $5 to $15 for standard proof. Not rare, but collectible. 1979 S-proof Type 2, clear S. These are the real gems. A perfect PR69 or PR70 example can go for $200, $300, sometimes more depending on buyer interest. And here's the thing, the market for coins has been heating up again. With the popularity of coin collecting on TikTok, YouTube, and even on auction platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, more people are getting into numismatics, which increases demand and prices. So, what should you do if you have a 1979 quarter? First, check the mint mark. Look for an S, and examine whether it's a Type 1 or a Type 2. Then check the condition. Is it scratched? Worn out? Or is it crisp, shiny, and new-looking? If so, it may be worth grading. And finally, look for any weird errors. Is something off about the lettering? Does the coin look slightly misaligned? These are the signs of valuable errors that collectors love. You can use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check the details. If you suspect you've got something rare, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading does cost money, but it can seriously boost the value of your coin if it comes back with a high score. So there you have it, the mystery and money behind the 1979 $quarter coin. From its historical roots to its valuable modern-day surprises, this simple piece of metal might just be a miniature treasure chest in your pocket. Before you spend it on a vending machine snack, maybe give it another look. And if you found this video helpful, educational, or just plain fascinating, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with a fellow coin enthusiast. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins. Have a coin you want us to feature next? Drop it in the comments below. If you're someone who loves history, rare finds, or maybe you've just emptied your change jar and found a 1982 quarter, then get ready to be amazed. Today's episode is all about the fascinating story behind the 1982 United States $quarter coin. This isn't just your average quarter. Some of these coins are worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars depending on their condition, errors, and unique traits. So stay with me as we dig deep into the rich history, rarity, and current market value of the 1982 Washington quarter. This might just be the coin that turns your spare change into serious cash. Let's rewind the clock back to 1982. The United States was going through some major changes, economically, politically, and even in the world of coinage. In fact, 1982 was a critical year for U.S. coins. The U.S. Mint was facing high production costs due to rising metal prices, inflation, and budget tightening. In response to that, several changes were made to how coins were manufactured, and that includes the quarter. Now, the 1982 Washington quarter was part of the classic series that began in 1932, celebrating the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. But 1982 is particularly special. Why? Because it's one of the years the U.S. Mint did not produce any uncirculated mint sets. That means no special collector sets of coins were made that year, which is extremely unusual. So every 1982 quarter that exists today comes either from regular circulation or from specially purchased rolls and bags at the time. That makes high-grade examples very rare, especially those that are in mint state, uncirculated, or showing unique features like errors or variations. Let's talk about the design. The obverse of the coin, that's the front, features the iconic portrait of George Washington. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this profile has been in use since 1932 and remained a symbol of strength and leadership. The inscriptions include Liberty above Washington's head, In God We Trust on the left, and the date, in this case, 1982, right at the bottom. The reverse side of the coin features the bold image of a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, with olive branches below, symbolizing both military readiness and peace. The inscriptions read, United States of America, et pluribus unum. And of course, $quarter. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all 1982 quarters were created equal. In 1982, the U.S. Mint struck quarters at two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. There were no quarters produced at the San Francisco Mint for circulation that year. And here's what you should be looking for, 1982 p. Quarters struck in Philadelphia bear no mintmark. 1982D. Quarters struck in Denver will have a small D mintmark. Now, while both types are collectible, the 1982p quarter in high grades is significantly rarer. Why? Because the Philadelphia Mint had a reputation at the time for producing coins with weaker strikes and more noticeable wear, even right out of the mint. That means finding a clean, sharp, uncirculated 1982p quarter today is like finding a needle in a haystack. Now, let's talk about what really excites collectors: errors and varieties. This is where your quarter might be worth way more than just 25 cents. There are several known 1982 quarter errors that fetch serious money on the market. Off-center strikes. If the design is off-center, showing blank space on the coin, values can jump from $50 to several $100s based on how off it is and whether the date is visible. Double dies. Look closely at the date, the words, Liberty, or In God We Trust. If any of these look doubled, like there's a ghost shadow of the text, you could have a double die coin. These are highly sought after. Clipped planchet errors. Some 1982 quarters were mistakenly struck on clipped metal blanks, giving the coin a crescent-shaped bite. These can sell from $75 to $300 or more. Missing mintmark errors. Although Philadelphia coins were not marked, there are rare examples from Denver where the mintmark is missing. These are hot items for collectors. Weak strikes and die breaks. Quarters that show unusual textures, weak details, or cracks in the design from worn-out dies can be valuable, especially if certified. So, always inspect your coins carefully. Use a magnifying glass or loupe, and if you find something odd, get it evaluated by a professional or send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. Now comes the big question: how much is a 1982 quarter worth today? Let's break it down. Circulated 1982p or D quarters. In average condition, they're usually worth between 25 cents and $2. But that changes fast based on quality. Uncirculated 1982 D quarter. A brilliant uncirculated example can fetch $10 to $30. Uncirculated 1982p quarter. Because of its rarity in high grades, this coin can sell for $50 to over $200. Mint state. MS65 and up. A 1982p quarter graded MS65 or MS66 by PCGS can sell from $200 to $600 depending on demand. Top pop coins. The highest graded examples known, especially if there are only a few, have reached auction prices as high as $1,000 to even $3,000 for exceptionally clean, sharp strike coins. Error coins, as mentioned earlier, values range wildly based on the error. Some rare error 1982 quarters have sold for $500, $1,000 or more at major auctions and online marketplaces. And as of today's market, collectors are still hot on the trail of high-grade 1982 quarters because so many from that year were poorly struck and heavily circulated. That scarcity in quality coins means prices are still rising. So you might be wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these valuable coins? Start with what you already have. Check your change jar, your wallet, old coin collections, or rolls from the bank. Believe it or not, people find rare coins in circulation all the time. Visit coin shows, local dealers, and estate sales. You'd be surprised how many people overlook valuable coins because they just don't know what to look for. And of course, eBay and other auction platforms can be gold mines if you know how to identify and evaluate what you're buying. Always look for luster, sharpness in design, and any signs of errors or unusual features. So there you have it, the full story of the 1982 United States $quarter coin. A simple coin with a surprising amount of history, rarity, and potential value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about coins, this one is absolutely worth your attention. If you learned something new today or got excited about checking your change, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a video about coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures. And if you've found a 1982 quarter or a coin you think might be rare, tell us in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. You never know, your coin could be the next big find. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are diving deep into the story, secrets, and staggering value behind a coin you might just have in your pocket right now, the 1994 United States quarter dollar. That's right, the humble little 25-cent piece that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin special, how to spot rare versions, and how much collectors are paying for it in today's market. You don't want to miss this. Let's get started. The United States quarter dollar has a rich history that dates back to 1796, but today we're focusing on a very specific year, 1994. In that year, the U.S. Mint produced quarters at three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints left their own mark on the coin, literally. You'll see it in the form of a small letter P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The 1994 quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This design, created by John Flanagan, has been used on quarters since 1932 to celebrate Washington's 200th birthday. On the reverse side, you'll find the image of a majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbols of war and peace. While 1994 was not a key date, year in the eyes of casual collectors, seasoned numismatists know better. It was a year full of small errors, variations, and limited proof strikes that would later make this coin a sleeper hit in the collector's world. Let's talk numbers. In 1994, the Philadelphia Mint produced around 825 million quarters. Denver minted roughly 880 million. And San Francisco, known for proof coins, made around 2.5 million clad proof quarters and approximately 600,000 silver proof quarters. Now here's the truth. Common circulated 1994 quarters are generally worth just face value, 25 cents. But wait! Don't go spending yours at the vending machine just yet. Because if your coin has specific features, errors, or is in pristine condition, it could be worth so much more. We're talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars for certain examples. Now let's get to the exciting part. The valuable varieties and mind-blowing mint errors that can turn a 25-cent coin into a life-changing treasure. Keep your eyes peeled for any doubling in the lettering, especially on Liberty in God We Trust. And the date: 1994. A strong double die can fetch anywhere from $75 to over $500, depending on condition. Some 1994 quarters were struck off-center, meaning the design is misaligned. A 10% off-center error can go for $50 to $150, while coins with 50% or more off-center and full date visible can sell for $300 or more. This error happens when the blank metal sheet used to make coins is improperly cut. A quarter with a curved clip could be worth $50 to $100, while dramatic examples can go for even more. These occur when the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to spread out. Broad-struck 1994 quarters are rare and can command $100 to $200 or more. Imagine finding a 1994 quarter struck on a nickel or foreign planchet. That's extremely rare and could bring $1,000 or higher at auction. If you find a 1994 quarter that looks brand new, without scratches, marks, or wear, send it in for grading. Coins graded MS67 to MS68 have sold for $300 to $1,500 at reputable auction houses. Only a handful exist at these high grades, especially from the Philadelphia Mint. Let's talk about the creme de la creme, the proof coins. These were struck in San Francisco and never meant for circulation. You'll recognize them by their mirror-like finish and frosted details. Clad proof quarters from 1994 are made of copper and nickel. In pristine condition, they're worth $5 to $20, but that jumps if there's a minting error or ultra-deep cameo contrast. Now the silver proof quarters. These are where things get spicy. They contain 90% silver, and with rising silver prices, even the metal content alone is valuable. But collector premiums can push these coins to $25, $50, or even $100 depending on condition and rarity. In 2025, coin collecting is hotter than ever. Interest in older U.S. coinage has surged, and even modern-era coins are being reevaluated for their historical and numismatic significance. As of right now, a basic circulated 1994 quarter is still worth 25 cents. A high-grade MS-66 sells for about $50 to $100. MS-67 examples have sold for $200 to $600. MS-68. Good luck finding one. But if you do, it could sell for $1,000 to $2,500. Silver proofs in PR70 DCM condition are currently fetching $100 to $200 plus. Major error coins. Sky's the limit. Some auctions have seen prices of $3,000 to $5,000 for dramatic, one-of-a-kind mistakes. Always check current sales on sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay sold listings, and PCGS or NGC price guides for the most accurate, up-to-date valuations. Does your coin have visible doubling? Is it off-center or oddly shaped? Is it unusually shiny or untouched by wear? Does it look like it struck on the wrong metal? Does it have any proof like mirror surfaces? Does it weigh more or less than 5.67 grams, normal weight? If you answered yes to any of these, congratulations, you might be holding a valuable piece of U.S. history. Consider sending it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and valuation. Who would have thought that a simple 1994 quarter could be worth so much? It just goes to show that treasure doesn't always come in the form of gold bars or ancient relics. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket or hides at the bottom of an old jar. If you found this video interesting, valuable, or just plain cool, smash that like button and share it with your fellow coin collectors. Comment below and tell us if you've ever found a rare 1994 quarter or any other amazing coin in circulation. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of coins, currency, and collectibles. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and always remember, every coin has a story. Yours might just be worth a fortune.